Hi, welcome back to Why the Book Wins. My name is Laura, and today is another book haul video. So these are some books that I've ordered throughout the last month, and I did my video 2 weeks ago, and then since then some more books have arrived. So now here's another book haul. So it's kind of random, but the two I am most excited about are two vintage edition books over 100 years old, and it's from a very popular series, so I'm going to save those for last because those are the most exciting ones. As far as my Sunday videos go, this will be the last one I will do for the next few weeks because we are about to move. By the time this video goes up, we will already have moved, or it might be the day we are moving. Anyway, so I'm going to take a few weeks off to get set up in our new place. And I've got some exciting videos coming once I'm all set up. Man, my hair keeps being dumb. Anyway, so I'll be taking a few weeks off, but do not forget about me. Stay around, stick around, stay subscribed, because my Book First movie videos will still be coming out every week. I pre-record those. But yeah, I'm really excited for my Sunday videos and future bookshelf tour because, by the way, this behind me isn't real. I don't want to ruin the illusion, but this is fake. It's a tapestry. It looks great though. But I will soon be getting legit bookshelves. I still might use this as a background on occasion though because I love it. Anyway, I'm really excited to do a bookshelf tour and show off my new book setup. I also have some more books I plan on buying once we're moved. Which you can skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp in where I actually start showing off my books. But I want to tell you guys of a loophole I found in the system because I donate plasma, and the first 8 donations at every center you get $1,000, and after that it goes down to $40. So you get $1,000 spread out over 8 donations. So it ends up being $100 to $200 per donations for those first 8 times. And after that it goes down to 40. And so I've been plasma center hopping, getting that first $1,000 for 8 donations. And once I've gone to all the plasma centers around me, and there's a plasma center where we're moving to, once I've gotten the $1,000 from the 8 donations, I'm going to stop donating because once it goes down to just $40, I don't know. Maybe I still will, but anyway, so I have some books I'm buying with plasma money. So I'm pretty excited about some books I have my eyes on. Anyway, time to share my books. To start, I am showing just kind of a fun one that I saw on eBay, and so I bought it. And it is this tiny miniature edition of Alice in Wonderland. And they have editions of these for a lot of books, Dracula, Frankenstein, all the main classics. But I chose to get it for Alice in Wonderland because it just seems so fitting because Alice in Wonderland is, she gets big and small and whatever. So it just seemed to make sense. But it has a little book slip thingy, which has these cool pictures. And you take it out. And yeah, it is just so cute. And it has the full book in here that you could read, and it has illustrations too. So it has the illustrations from the original book in there. So yeah, I might get more. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I won't get more. I don't know. But this one was cute. Got it on eBay. Up next is another kind of silly one, I guess. So I was reading and listening to Doom McKee by Stephen King, and the audiobook is narrated by John Slattery, who is Roger Sterling from Mad Men. And so listening to the book, I just kept thinking of Roger Sterling. And he did a great job narrating Doom McKee, by the way. Anyway, in Mad Men, Roger Sterling writes a memoir, and online, someone made a copy of his memoir. And so I bought an edition of Sterling's Gold by Roger Sterling from Mad Men. And inside is just a series of quotes from Roger throughout the series. So really, it's not about, it's not really about what's inside the book in this scenario. It's really just about, and this is what the book looks like on the TV show. So it's just about owning an edition of Sterling's Gold, even though it's not his real memoir. But anyway, I thought that was fun. And then up next, so this is an edition, a Franklin Library edition. And I'm going to look more into Franklin Library. They look exactly like Easton Press. The difference between the two, I don't know, they look the same. But this is Jane Eyre edition of Franklin Library. I don't have Jane Eyre and Easton Press either, but I saw this one. And I collect Jane Eyre books. I have a video showing my Jane Eyre book collection, and so I thought this would be a nice addition. And it is illustrated. I love the illustrations. They're beautiful. I will show you one. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, happy with this Franklin Library edition of Jane Eyre. And of course, highly recommend Jane Eyre. It's fantastic. And then we have a first edition copy of The Tender Bar. I did my book first movie comparison for this the end of January or the beginning of February. So the movie just came out, stars Ben Affleck. And I love the book, highly recommend. The movie is fine too. If you have Amazon, you can watch it for free. But the book is about a kid whose dad isn't really around. And so he idolized the men at this bar. And he kind of grows up in this bar, around the bar. And it's just about his life. I highly recommend it. I love this book. I gave it 4 stars, I think. But yeah, I loved it. And this is a first edition copy. And then next up, I don't often buy books I haven't read. I don't know if that's common or not, actually. I feel like most often people buy books and then they read the books they buy. But I wait till I've already read the book. And if I like it enough, I buy either a first edition copy or a special edition copy like Jane Eyre. So if you're new to my channel, by the way, I think I do have a more unique collection in some ways, book collection, because I don't just buy your run-of-the-mill editions. I want them, this one, it looks run-of-the-mill, but it is a first edition. And so I buy first editions, special editions, limited editions, Folio Society, Easton Press, Franklin Library, vintage books. So yeah, and I buy them once I've already read them for the most part. However, this next book I have not yet read, and it is Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King. I plan on reading this within the next couple months. I'm assuming I'll like it. So far, the Stephen King books I've read, I have loved. Misery, The Shining, I just read Duma Key, gave that one 4 stars. And yeah, and I also just want to have more of a Stephen King collection, I'm buying this one. If I hate it, I'll get rid of it. But even if it ends up just being a 3-star book, I'll still keep it because I would like to just have a more impressive King collection because he's a great writer. And I will be buying the first edition copy of Duma Key at some point, so that'll be in a future book haul video. But anyway, I really don't know much about this book. I prefer knowing as little as possible when I go into a book. I know it's written as a stream of consciousness, I believe. And I know the movie stars Kathy Bates and Jennifer Jason Leigh. So I'll be doing a book versus movie comparison. It'll probably be out in May. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. And it was on eBay for crazy cheap. I don't remember now, it was maybe $5 or something. It was insanely cheap, and so I couldn't resist it, and I bought it. And now onto my vintage books. So this first one is Anne of Green Gables. Just look at that, the covers are so beautiful. And now this book was originally printed in 1908, and this is the 38th impression, printed in 1914. So it's a while after the first edition, but it still is over 100 years old. And I just finished reading this book for the second time. My book versus movie comparison for it will be out at the end of March. But this is just such a pleasure and a joy to read. I love it so much. It is such a comfort read, and I love it. Highly recommend. To get a first edition or even a really early edition are pretty expensive. But I was happy getting this one because it still is pretty old. And it is illustrated. So here is one. And I'll show you at least one more. Here is another one. So yeah, super happy to own this vintage copy of Anne of Green Gables. I love it so much and highly recommend this book. And my next vintage book is the second Anne of Green Gables book. This one is Anne of Avonlea. The writing on the front has faded, as you can see. And this one is the 40th impression of the first edition, and it was published in 1928. So this one isn't quite 100 years old. And unlike Anne of Green Gables, this one is not illustrated, so that's kind of a bummer, but it's still incredible. And I love that I own, I'm going to be getting the third one as well, because there's 8, but I've only read the first 3. But I just love that I'll be able to own these vintage editions of Anne of Green Gables, and I love their covers. It's just so pretty, so elegant. And yeah, so those are the vintage books that I was talking about. And again, I have my eye on a copy of Anne of the Island. It would be nice to kind of splurge for the third book and find a really early edition for the third one. It's also the third one, so it's not as expensive as an early edition of the first book, So stay tuned for future videos for any Anne of Green Gables fans out there, which, Her books are so popular. Like, this book was written in 1908 and it still is so popular today. There are YouTube channels and Instagrams that are like focused on Anne of Green Gables. And there's a reason why. It's incredible. I haven't read the second and third book since 2019, so it's been a couple of years, but still I remember loving them, especially the third one when things all kind of tied together as far as like the romance is concerned. But the first book was so good, and in my book versus movie comparison, I compare it with the movie, but I also just talk about why I love the book so much and share different passages. But anyway, stay tuned for that one, the end of March. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was kind of a random hodgepodge of books. I like them to be a bit more organized, like vintage books only, or first edition books only, or Easton Press, whatever. But today's was kind of a mix. Again, it'll be a few weeks till I post again, but I am so excited about the videos that will be getting posted in the coming weeks. So stay tuned, stick around, stay subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And also follow me on Instagram where you can keep up to date with what I'm doing. And I also post polls on there and ask questions and whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.